moms and dads. I know you must be thinking that Sunday school doesn't really feel quite complete without craft. Exactly. Plus, together with the kids being needed to be at home, I'm sure they are running out of things to play with and running out of games. So I hope that today's craft, inspired by Good World Gone Wrong Part 5 of the series called God Punishes Sinners in the Flood, I hope that you will take some time to make this together with them. And kids, if you're watching this and you're wondering what is this here, let me just explain a little bit. So, as you can see, this craft is quite fairly easy to make. It's actually really fun to make as well. And as you can see, this blue here, this deep blue, this actually indicates the flood, which is God's judgment, God's punishment on sinners. And what I've done is I've taken cotton, either those cotton balls or cotton pads that you use for your faces, and I've kind of shredded it, dipped it in this color and made waves. Actually, if you could touch it, it's actually still a little bit wet. So that's quite cool that you get a 3D craft that you can feel the water. So this up here, this sign up here says, God was so angry with man's sin that he punished sinners in the flood. And this is taken from Genesis chapter 6, verse 11 to 13. So this is not the actual verse, but it's inspired by it. So if most story books that you see, or most cartoons that you see, will actually show the animals being really happy. And usually we think that it's a happy story. But the story of Noah and the animals in the ark is one of God's anger at sin. It shows us how much God hates sin, that he sent a flood to wipe out the human race. And God in his kindness saved Noah and his family, because from Noah's family will come a Savior. This Savior, his name is Jesus Christ. And only he can save us from our sin, because this problem of sin is so big. So I'm gonna take you through a tutorial of how to get the craft to be like this. And I've used things that I hope you can find around your house, because I know it's inconvenient to go out during this time. I will lay them all out. In the tutorial, I forgot to mention this little toothpick looking thing. If you don't have that at home, that's fine. This sign can go lower down here as well, but I like mine to be out there. I hope you enjoy making this craft, and I will see you next time. Bye, have fun. Hi, so okay, step 1 is just laying out everything. And so you'll need firstly a little template like this that has Noah, a few animals in the ark, and what I like to do is to get an old cereal box. It can be any cereal box, and to stick these pieces of paper on it so that it's thicker. And then next you'll need just 2 paper plates. Any ones will do. One of them will fold up later. You need some glue as well. Any glue will do. Or if you don't have glue, even sticky tack like this can work too. And then what I did was I cut up a cereal box and I wrote this on it, so you can do that. If your kid doesn't know how to write yet, you might need to write it for them. So maybe you want to pause the video here and you'll write, God was so angry with man's sin that he punished sinners in the flood. This is from Genesis 6, verse 11 to 13. So that's not the actual verse, but it's taken from that verse. You'll need some blue paint as well. Doesn't matter what brand, or as long as they're shades of blue, because you're gonna need this to paint the sea. So these cotton pads here, they don't have to be flat. In fact, if they're fluffy ones, they're actually better. And then you'll be using this blue paint to paint over it with if you don't have a paintbrush, no worries, you can just use your fingers. I have a pencil as well to draw the template out. I think you can get the template from the link, and if you want to color over your drawing with like a black outline, that's fine. A pair of scissors, and yeah, if you need like an eraser. So these things are fairly easy to find at home. I know with this restriction movement order, you might not be able to go out and buy stuff, so I'm trying to hopefully get stuff that you can find at home. So these are the things you need. And first, what you want to do is you want to fold one paper plate in half, like so. And this will actually be the boat, the arc, and I'll show you what to do with it later. So the concept will be this, the animals will be stuck on here with Noah. There'll be cotton here to indicate the sea, and then you will stick the writing on top here. Okay, so we'll leave that to the side first, and you can use the black marker to trace the outline. I like to do that later after cutting it. And yeah, let the cutting begin. Don't worry too much about getting the fingers perfect. If you just do this, that's fine too. There we go. Actually, what's better is if you stick it on the cardboard and then you can cut it one shot. Okay, and then over here, you can just do this. And then all the way down. If your child can't use a pair of scissors yet, then you might need to do it for them. But otherwise, if they're fairly confident with scissors, you can actually let them do it. So this is where you stick it on cardboard, like so, and you can cut it out together with now that you've done the outline of the animals, so you've cut out the animals, what I like to do is to do an outline in black and then color them in, just so that the color pops up a bit more. And there you have it. Once you don't necessarily need to paint these in, but I wanted to just to add a little bit of color to the craft. And the other thing that you need to cut out from the cardboard is just like a little thing for the top of the arc. So this is gonna go on here, like so. And if you want to paint this as well brown, that would make the color really pretty. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick Noah over here, and then we can put the giraffes up here, and I'll just show you.
And now you have the first, the main part of the arc, and like so. Maybe you just need some time for the glue to dry. If it's not sticking, what you can do is you can reinforce it with the sticky tack. Especially for the bigger ones that are a little bit harder to stick, a good habit to reinforce it like that. There we go. Like so. Alright, so now you have this main part of the arc done. And now you're gonna stick it on the end like so that it stays up like this. Okay. And this is when it can get a little bit tricky, so I might need to use some sticky tack just to secure it a little bit. Or you can use glue as well, that's fine. Either way works as long as it's stuck on the plate and it's fairly secure. That's completely cool. There we go. So this main part of the art is done. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to fluff up these cotton pads as much as you can. You want to get the woolly part up, just so that it mimics the sea a bit more. And this is why if you have those fluffy cotton balls, they actually work better than the flat ones. I just used this because I had these at home. They didn't have the fluffy ones. Alright, so just kind of take it apart so that the wool is sticking out a little bit. You want to try to make it look as much like the ocean as you can. So the fluffier, the better. If you don't have any cotton at home, I think you can also try using tissue paper. Might not have the same fluffiness, but if you use enough and if you shred it, I think you can achieve the same level of making it look like the sea. Just keep going. Okay, I guess the tricky part is keeping it all together, stuck on there. And this is where probably need to use some glue just to make sure everything stays in place to each other and to the plate as well. There we go. Don't worry. Okay. And what we're gonna do once the glue dries is we're gonna give it a dash of color. That's right. It does get a little bit sticky. So there you have the ocean. Ocean to indicate the flood. So here's what I found. I think it's actually easier if you take the cotton wool and to dip it in a combination like blue mixed with lots of water. And don't worry if there's too much water. I find that it's really fun when the kids can actually feel the wetness and it feels like water and it looks like oceans. So the way I did it earlier was to take blue and then add water and then let the blue kind of spread around as the cotton absorbs the water. But an easier way I think is if you dip the cotton into a mixture of blue before sticking it on. Yeah, and yeah, so once this is done, and you just let it dry, and then you should be almost done. Alright, so now that you've done you've put in the cotton and made the waves and made it all blue, now you want to find a way to put up this sign on the craft. So if you don't have like a little toothpick like this, you can either just stick it on the side here, but I would rather put it on the back of the giraffe, like so. Get on like this. Then stick it at the back here, like so. That, so that as you look at it, you get to see the sign that's just above the giraffe. God was so angry with man's sin that he punished sinners in the flood. Taken from Genesis 6, verse 11 to 13. And there you have it. Well done. I hope your kids enjoy making this craft, and I'll see you next time.